Promotional fees provided by.
If you're looking for a powerful vacuum that weighs only 8 pounds, try my Auric XL free for 15 days. Nothing gets by an Auric.
Genexin Remind is the ginkgo biloba supplement that helps improve your memory, mental focus, and concentration. Genexin Remind. It's food for thought.
Now's the time to get healthy-looking skin and save, too. Check your Sunday paper for valuable coupons for Vaseline intensive care products.
Ow! I feel good. So good. So good.
Senecot laxative tablets work like second nature overnight.
Well, my favorite Grammy moment was Toni Braxton's dress.
I like that dress too. I like Natalie Cole though.
14 years old, what were you doing?
I was jumping double dutch and playing with my dolls.
I weighed 75 pounds and I was dealing with acne. But our celebrity of the week, the youngest performer ever to win a Grammy, she won 2 of them. When you hear her, it is almost as if my favorite country performer of all time, Patsy Cline, has come back and is alive and well. She has 2 songs in the top 10. She has Grammys in her hand. Our celebrity of the week, 14 years old, Leanne Rhymes. Yes. Here she is, roll it. Leanne launched her singing career at the age of 11. She won both for her debut album, which is called Blue. It went to the top of both the country and the top 200 charts, and won a Grammy also for the Best Female Country Vocalist. See you next week, everybody. Thank you very much.
Live from WFOR-TV, this is News 4 South Florida.
Fallout from a botched bank robbery, a brazen shootout turns a quiet Los Angeles area neighborhood into a combat zone, and News 4 has the dramatic pictures. Good evening, everyone. I'm Khambrel. Marshall Ann Roberts has the evening off. When the shootout was over, 2 suspects were dead and at least 6 police officers were wounded, and nearly all of it was caught on camera. News 4 anchor Ileana Varela has the top story now from the Satellite Center. Ileana?
Khambrel, before we go to the pictures, a warning for our viewers. Some of the pictures you're about to see are a bit graphic. Most of them are truly riveting. Hollywood had nothing on real life today when bank robbers dressed as commandos botched a burglary and turned it into a Wild West shootout. Here's one of the gunmen walking towards an intersection and firing at police. Cops fire back, hitting him. He falls to the ground, but police keep shooting, stirring the dirt around him and hitting him again.
Anybody that's in this area, and you can see now that civilians are being involved in this. We're going to see this person try and take this person's car right now.
From the helicopter of our sister station in Los Angeles, a reporter warns drivers to stay out of the area. Then another robber tries to escape and nearly does by shooting at the driver of this pickup truck. The driver bails out as the suspect unsuccessfully tries to commandeer the truck. Moments later, police arrive and a violent gun battle begins.
Police on the scene just driving up, bullets being exchanged, fire being exchanged. You can see a fusillade of bullets into this suspect vehicle as police open fire, and you can see that the suspect is also opening fire straight through the windshield of the car.
This gunman eventually surrenders to police. Now, right now, a large-scale manhunt is on for 2 suspects still on the loose. Here are police using tear gas and battering rams to assault a shed where it was thought one of them was holed up. They've also blocked off a large area of North Hollywood to all traffic. Now, back to the shootout. In all, 2 robbers were killed, 1 was arrested, and 13 people were hit by gunfire. 5 bystanders and 8 police officers. The FBI says that same gang has robbed at least 2 other banks in the LA area. Dangerous. Khambrel?
And incredible. Thank you, Ileana. More evidence tonight that O.J. Simpson is planning to pack up and say bye-bye to Brentwood. To go where? Well, News 4 has learned that the juice just might be saying hello, Florida, but not hello to South Florida. This could be the house. It's situated on the ocean near Vero Beach in Indian River County. The current owner has sold it to an attorney representing a company called AC International. And when he learned that O.J. might be moving in, he was shocked. And from what Earl Katz is saying, so are his neighbors. It's quite a house, by the way. No word on how much it's sold for. We'll keep you posted. A rough ride and a hospital trip for some South Florida passengers aboard an American Airlines jet. There were plenty of ambulances on hand when Flight 1603 from West Palm Beach to Chicago arrived at O'Hare Airport today. Passengers say they hit heavy turbulence, causing the plane to severely dip several times. Anyone not in a seatbelt hit the roof of a cabin, and there's a lesson there. 6 people received head and neck injuries. The FBI tonight investigating the discovery of a bullet hole in the tail of a TWA jet at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. Was it a sniper's target? News 4's Mark Hyman is live on the scene now with the latest. Mark?
Well, and hard to believe at this hour, Khambrel, that plane has been fixed today and is scheduled to take off tonight at about 6:20 on its way back to St. Louis. Apparently, the repairs were made today. We were told by TW officials that they were minor repairs and that they could have been made yesterday had the FBI and the FAA not been investigating. As you said, the investigation continues today. Was it some maniac taking pot shots into the sky as part of a sick prank? Or a cold-blooded sniper intent on killing 126 people? Tonight, it's still a mystery. FBI agents are telling us tonight they aren't ruling out anything. What caliber bullet was it? And where was it shot from? All questions investigators have been dealing with today. And what, if anything, did the flight or ground crew hear? What we do know is that this TWA 727 left St. Louis yesterday without any bullet holes. At first, it was believed a piece of the engine may have flown off, causing the hole in the tail. But that version was officially ruled out. That investigation will now fan out into neighborhoods to see if anybody did hear a shot yesterday afternoon. We're live at Fort Lauderdale Airport. Mark Hyman, News 4 South Florida.
All right, thank you, Mark. Politicians in Miami Beach tonight trying to figure out what, if anything, to do regarding a city official arrested in an undercover prostitution sting. As News 4 first told you exclusively yesterday at 5 o'clock, Tomas Calderon, executive director of the Miami Beach Housing Authority, was arrested after allegedly offering a male undercover officer $25 for oral sex. Well, last night, News 4's Aline Sugani attempted to get Calderon's side of the story, but she was asked to leave. News 4 will continue to follow this story for you. If we should know more next Tuesday when the board which governs the Housing Authority takes up the Calderon matter, we'll let you know. Well, tonight, Opelika police are investigating the claims of a 10-year-old girl who says she was sexually attacked at school by a classmate. News 4's Judy Echavez with that report.
Dade County School Police returned to Nathan B. Young Elementary to investigate allegations that a 10-year-old girl was nearly raped by her 10-year-old classmate. Police say the 4th grader who kept the attack a secret from her parents for 2 days claimed the boy followed her into the bathroom around 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. She says he tried to take her underpants off, but instead she fought back and ran off. The frightening news came as a shock to concerned parents.
Stuff like this happens all the time, and they have kids that have problems and they don't get it taken care of, and then it affects the other children around them. They shouldn't even be, they shouldn't even be here if you ask me. They should be getting help.
I'm hoping it is an isolated incident, but I've never heard about anything like that in the 6 years that I've been taking my children here.
The principal and school board believe this was an isolated incident. One security monitor was on duty at the time of the attack. The school board is now looking into how something like this can be prevented.
It's just an isolated incident, but to beef up security, that means you'd have to have every bathroom patrolled by a security monitor. It just doesn't work that way. It's too difficult.
The alleged attacker has been suspended from school for 5 days. Police are deciding whether to charge him with simple battery. In Miami, Judy Echavez, News 4, South Florida.
Now, security cameras at a South Florida high school capture vandals at work. It happened here at Flanagan High School in Pembroke Pines. Police say 8 students were caught on tape breaking into the school earlier this month. They were seen trashing lockers and damaging expensive equipment in the school's TV production room. Police arrested the suspects after viewing the tapes, then released them to their parents. Miami police asking for your help tonight in finding an arsonist. It's believed a couple of teenagers set fire to a Miami grocery store early yesterday morning as an act of revenge. Now police and Crime Stoppers are offering up to a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and conviction of any suspects. The phone number to Crime Stoppers is 471-TIPS or 471-8477. All callers, of course, will remain anonymous. The riots that erupted on the streets of St. Petersburg last fall could happen again in almost any American city. That's the finding of a new report prepared by a federal civil rights commission. The report says that poor community relations by police are partially to blame for 2 nights of race rioting in St. Pete. It also says a lack of economic opportunities for black residents is a cause. Now, those disturbances followed the fatal shooting of a black teen by a white police officer. A new federal law is in effect tonight. It's designed to keep teenagers from buying cigarettes. The law requires anyone selling cigarettes to check IDs to ensure that they're not selling them to underage smokers. But as reporter Lee Cowan explains, some are asking why people up to age 27 have to be carded.
All right, now let's see the ID. Let's crack, you'll be the first one.
Get used to it.
Missouri. No wonder you didn't want to show it. Okay.
If you look younger than 27 and you're buying cigarettes, this is the new routine, the new law. The ID rule is the first part of a sweeping new policy by the FDA to crack down hard on teenage smoking. The anti-smoking advocates, it's a dream come true.
I think today is an amazing day. This is the first time that cigarettes have been regulated.
States already have laws on the books that prohibit the sale of cigarettes to minors. The problem is those laws are pretty easy to get around. Teens routinely buy cigarettes, and nearly 3/4 of them say they're never asked about their age.
Thank you.
And despite the new regulations, many still aren't being asked. Undercover cameras are already capturing clerks either oblivious to the new law or just flat out ignoring it. Those behind the counter argue that it will create longer lines and insist that the age requirement of 27 is a bit extreme.
There are many people come in the shop who are maybe 35 and look like they're 25 or 20 even.
And young smokers agree that it's just another hurdle to clear, not necessarily a barrier.
If kids are going to smoke, they're going to smoke.
But in marking day one of these new regulations, and coincidentally the last day on the job of their architect, FDA Commissioner David Kessler, the president was hoping that making it harder would make a difference.
A lot of them are quitting because it's too much hassle now. That's the idea. That's good.
And that's just phase one. Still to come, bans on tobacco advertising and merchandising, and a crackdown on vending machines. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Washington.
There is a potential delay in next month's scheduled start of the Jimmy Rice murder trial. Circuit Judge Maxine Lando, the official presiding over that case, has quit. The trial is certainly a high-profile one. Jimmy Rice is the Redlands boy who was abducted from a school bus stop in 1995. His body found months later. The accused is a local ranch hand, Juan Carlos Chavez. The defense attorneys accuse Judge Lando of consulting a publicist over fears that her trial rulings could affect her re-election. Lando is taking herself off the case, but denies any wrongdoing. A final ruling tonight in the emotional custody battle over the girl we all know as Baby K. A Dade County Court judge has restored all parental rights to her biological father, George Setters. However, Setters decided her adoptive parents, Rachel and Orlando Ventura, will maintain primary custody, and he gets generous visitation rights. The Venturas adopted Baby K last May. Several months later, Setters came forward asking for custody. Well, spring is in the air. That happens when spring training gets started, and the Florida Marlins fans couldn't be happier. The new and improved Marlins played their first exhibition game of the season in Fort Lauderdale this afternoon. News 4's Dave Stanley was there.
Programs, ma'am. Opening day, there's nothing like it in the world.
My expectations are very high. Very high.
And so is the price tag. This revamping cost $89 million. New players, new hopes, maybe even a new ending to a season. You know, like a winning one. So you really can't blame a kid like Jay Warmer.
Shouldn't you be in, like, school or something?
Cut school. Cut school to go to a spring training game? Well, maybe that's all it is to the other guys, but not this year, not for the Marlins, not with the new boss.
Spring training is important this year because we got to get to know each other. I got to get to know the players. They got to get to know me. And we got to find out, you know, basically if we got an idea how good we could be.
Well, let's see. Here's one of the new guys. It's the first at-bat in a Marlins uniform for Bobby Bonilla. He's a hit already.
They should be doing all right. I mean, we got Bonilla now and the pitcher Fernandez, so hopefully they'll be able to put it together.
You got to wonder if this guy was even paying attention.
My wife gave me this hat, and she said, because we were going to be in the sun, she said, but wear it inside out.
Well, turn it right side out. Show everybody what it looks like.
Yeah, see? So, but when I got here, no way. You're going to wear it this way.
In case you haven't noticed, going to a game these days, it's just not what it used to be.
Fruit drinks, fresh fruit drinks.
We're going to get some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
Peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
You know, just when we thought tradition was completely out in left field, we ran into this guy.
Ice cold beer! Water! Peanuts, huh?
And a good time was had by all? Well, it's a little too early to tell yet, but in the words of Larry Cathy.
What's better than this right now? Nothing. This is great.
Dave Stanley, News 4, South Florida.
Great final score as well. Marlins 11, Baltimore Orioles 2. Stay tuned for game highlights in about 10 minutes in sports. Well, they were revving up their engines in Homestead. They are still doing that. The Grand Prix of Miami getting off to a running start, and News 4's Joe Zagacki ran to Homestead, live with motorsports at the complex right now. Joe?
Khambrel, if you like loud noises and speed, this is the place to be, the Homestead Motorsports Complex. For the second year, the Grand Prix of Miami will be held here this weekend. They've been racing all afternoon. A crowd of about 80,000 is expected on Sunday. A sparse crowd this afternoon for the practice session. It's the first race of the year for the Indy karts. Jimmy Vasser is the defending champ. Today devoted to the practice on the track. Alex Zanardi is the Rookie of the Year, and Zanardi is excited to be racing here in Homestead.
I'll try to have a good race for sure. If I can win, I'll try to do so. But that's not my main goal. My main goal is to go home with some points and have a good start of the championship.
All right, we just had some qualifying for the Toyota race that just completed here on the track. We'll have more highlights for you coming up a little bit later on in sports. Live in Homestead, Joe Zagacki, News 4, South Florida.
All right, Joe, you know I'm a big race fan. I want to hear those results. Thank you. Bob Soper standing by now to let us know what kind of great weather they're going to have this weekend, Bob.
Khambrel Grand Prix is going to really love it this weekend. We're going to have plenty of sunshine, a little bit of breezes, but don't look for any rainfall. If there is any rain, it's going to be very spotty and moving by very fast. Take a look outside. We got a very nice afternoon for you. 80 degrees in Miami, Fort Lauderdale 81, 73% relative humidity, wind southeast at 11, gusting to 25 miles per hour. No rain officially today. Now here's what's going on. We've got high pressure over the entire state, as a matter of fact. Now on the west edge of that, we've got a stream of moisture moving up into the southeastern U.S., and that's going to continue to cause problems for those folks, especially right in here, right around Mississippi, and then also in parts of Georgia up into the Carolinas. They got a tornado watch there for most of Mississippi until 9 o'clock tonight. 59 degrees at Little Rock, and then ahead of a warm front, 76 degrees at New Orleans, ahead, I should say, down here south of the warm front. 79 to Houston, 64 at Dallas. You can really see the split. Now the warm front may be just a little bit south of where we have it shown here, 64 at Atlanta, 77 at Charleston. So there is some warm and cool air clashing over the southeastern U.S. and that tropical moisture stretching all the way up into Virginia with showers there. Temperature is 42 at Buffalo, 54 at Philadelphia, 51 in New York, 56 Washington, D.C., 41 at Chicago. Remember, just a couple of days ago, they were getting some snow, and now 41 degrees this afternoon. 27 for Great Falls, Montana, 26 at Denver, 36 at Salt Lake City, in the 40s along the northwestern coastline, but turning into 50s to near 60 all the way down around Los Angeles. Now the west, fortunate, getting some fairly good snowfall out over the Colorado Rockies. As much as 12 inches of snow has fallen there. Also some snow stretching from the northern part of North Dakota into the northern part of Minnesota. So pretty good. You like the snow in the Rockies, but not so much in those lower elevations up there. Take a look at our forecast. Not too shabby. We're going to see very nice weather tonight. Lots of stars out there. Overnight low about 73 degrees. Tomorrow, warm breezes, lots and lots of sunshine. High temperature 83 degrees. For boaters, though, not so hot. Small craft advisory. Wind southeast of 20 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Bay waters choppy. Surf temperature 77 degrees. And for Sunday, it's still going to be breezy, but mostly sunny. Now, the high temperature is going to be 84, and of course, that's the big race day at the Grand Prix. Both days, Khambrel, in the low to mid 80s, so it's going to be kind of warm in those cockpits, but no rain.
They'll like that. They'll like that. Thank you, Bob. When News 4 continues, a violent earthquake rocks Pakistan. The bodies are still being recovered. Shoppers in a busy mall fall victim to a bomb hidden in a shopping bag, and the rhythm is going to get you. We'll take you to a special awards presentation in New York. Stay with us.
Tonight, it's back-to-back Jag.
If you announce an alliance with NATO, Princess Alexandra will die.
Double Jeopardy.
You're not safe here.
Double Cross.
I have an American Marine. You try to capture me, you have a dead Marine.
Double Jag.
The United States government does not negotiate with drug lords.
The Marine Corps does not leave their own behind.
2 special hours of America's new hit action drama.
Double agents have a way of becoming triple agents. Either way, someone is going to die.
Shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
2 new Jag, CBS tonight.
The door is ajar. The door is ajar. Fasten your seatbelt. Oil level is low.
Thank you.
Fasten your seatbelt.
Buy a $5 or more Florida Lotto ticket, and you could win one of 50 97 Ford Mustang GT convertibles.
Don't even think about it. You're not going to replace me that easily, Dave.
So play Lottomobile for the...
It was their family's secret. Garlic bulbs roasted mellow and nutty with fresh onions and fiery red tomatoes. Taste the new pasta sauce they inspire. Oven-roasted garlic and onion. 5 brothers, 1 passion.
This weekend, Kendall Toyota will give you at least $3,000 for your trade, no matter what condition it's in, toward the purchase of over 800 new Toyotas in stock. Or if you're upside down, we'll give you $3,000 more than your trade's worth, so you can be right side up. Or lease a Tercel for $149 a month, or a Corolla for $179 a month with no money down. Just drop in. Kendall Toyota.
A powerful earthquake shakes Pakistan. Ileana Varela back in the Satellite Center now with news that works for your world. Ileana?
Khambrel, this was a big one, 7.3 on the Richter scale, and the earth shook for a whole minute. If you've ever been in an earthquake, a minute seems like a lifetime. At least 80 people were killed, many of them while sleeping in flimsy mud huts in western Pakistan. The initial quake was followed by a powerful aftershock. 23 minutes later, that one had a magnitude of 6.3. In Colombia, 7 people were killed when a car bomb went off in the violence-plagued town of Apartado. Police say the bomb, carried in the back of a pickup truck, may have contained as much as 220 pounds of dynamite. They suspect leftist guerrillas out to avenge the recent shooting deaths of 6 of their own at the hands of the military. In Sydney, Australia, a chlorine bomb placed inside a busy shopping center sends 19 people to the hospital. Police say the bomb was made of chemicals mixed inside a glass jar. It never exploded, but the chemicals reacted, giving off chlorine gas. It is the second such attack in 3 days. And in the United Nations, renewed worries about what Saddam Hussein may be up to now. It's believed Iraq is working on a toxic missile, the kind that could carry toxic nerve agents some 2,000 miles. A full report on the UN investigation is expected next week.
All right, thank you, Ileana. From that kind of news to good news for anyone who's managed to avoid the flu bug this winter. News 4 health editor Dr. Deanna Lights is here to explain. Doctor?
Khambrel, the flu is starting to lose its grip on the nation. The Centers for Disease Control says only 21 states at the beginning of February reported flu outbreaks. That's down from a peak of 38 states in December. This year's strain was called Type A Wuhan. Though the number of deaths this year hasn't yet been calculated, the flu usually kills about 20,000 people. Also from the CDC, a new report says that for the first time in the AIDS epidemic, there has been a marked drop in deaths. They say that deaths among people with AIDS declined 12% during the first 6 months of 1996 compared to the first 6 months of 1995. The decline is attributed to improvements in treatments that can delay progression of the virus. Well, trying to figure out the labels of over-the-counter medications can be very confusing, but that will change if a proposal by the Food and Drug Administration passes. Manufacturers will have to label medications much the same way they do food, label them for things like calories and fat content. The FDA wants consumers to be able to tell at a glance the correct use of the medicine, its side effects, and when to see a doctor. You've probably heard that as you get older, your memory will decline and you won't be as sharp as you used to be. Well, this man will show you that's nonsense, and he's not alone. Experts say there are ways to keep your brain fit. I'll tell you how coming up at News 4 at 6. Khambrel, back to you.
I think we can all use that. Thank you, Doctor. Well, a big day for sports fans in South Florida. We got the Marlins, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Grand Prix. We're taking you back to Homestead Motorsports Complex in 2 minutes. And later on News 4 at 5:30, the News 4 problem solvers get a confession from this man. It's the latest chapter in our ongoing investigation into the abuse of handicapped parking permits.
Real-time closed captioning of News 4 South Florida is sponsored by the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale.
Michael Jackson's mask may be his best move yet. Hard copy exposes where dangerous, dirty germs are growing and where they can attack you.
Caution is needed whenever you deal in a public place with public facilities.
From phone booths to bank machines, it's life under the microscope. Plus, while this guy is everyone's favorite Saturday Night Live newscaster, his big brother reports real-life drama.
I get referred to as the unfunny one in the family.
Meet the News Brothers on Hard Copy.
Tonight at 7 on Channel 4.
I call my website Frogland. It's all about frogs. Frogs are just really funny looking critters, and they're pretty cool. This is a Pac-Man frog. But I got my first computer when I was a little kid. We've just been upgrading ever since. I have a zip drive, a printer, a scanner, lots of software. It's great to have one place to get all that stuff.
For all your computer needs, get to Best Buy, the #1 seller of home computers.
Before I find my prince, I have to kiss a lot of frogs.
I got a lot accomplished this week.
Thanks to Jimmy's versatility.
Let's see. Hauled the love seat in for reupholstering on Monday.
Thanks to Jimmy's cargo space.
Took the kids to soccer practice Wednesday.
With its spacious interior and luxury ride,
Bought groceries.
You can do a lot in a Jimmy.
And now, a weekend getaway.
Jimmy by GMC. It puts you comfortably in command.
News 4 South Florida is sponsored in part by Baers Furniture, best for quality furniture and interior design.
The Baer family invites you to visit our totally remodeled and expanded Boca Raton Mega Showcase.
See our new Henriton Gallery and Registry collection, our expanded Drexel Heritage Pavilion, and our brand new youth department.
Come see our kids' furniture. Have you discovered Baers?
The Baer family guarantees you the lowest prices. Now is the time to discover the newest styles and colors.
For real value, wear Baers.
Welcome back. Breaking news now from South Dade. A brush fire in progress around 280th Street. This is just east of the Florida Turnpike, we're told. It appears that the fire department is on the scene. Looks like it may be getting under control. You can see that it's not very far away from homes in that area. We'll keep you posted if it poses a danger to those homes. Now we turn to Joe Zagacki, who is not far from that area, actually, but he's down for another reason entirely, to have some fun watching the racers getting ready for the Grand Prix of Miami. Joe, take it away.
Khambrel, all is clear here at the Homestead Motorsports Complex. In fact, we're getting a little noise reprieve right now. We're in the middle of qualifying. More on the Grand Prix coming up in a moment. First, Tiger Woods will not play at Doral next week. He is staying back in California because his father is ill. The Marlins today showed off $89 million of new faces in their grapefruit opener, and the Orioles served up grapefruits. They played in Fort Lauderdale. Scott Erickson on the mound for the Orioles, Gary Sheffield at the plate, and the Chef with a drive to left field. Off the wall for the Chef, it was a double. Willie Castillo scored. Jim Eisenreich at the plate. Eisenreich, he singled hard to center field. The Marlins led 5-0 after 2. Defense was pretty strong today as well. Ground ball left side of the infield. Hey, that's Bobby Bowe. Nice grab and throw. The Marlins go on to beat the Orioles by a score of 11-2. Here at the Grand Prix of Miami at the Homestead Motorsports Complex, most of today devoted to practice sessions and qualifying. A crowd of about 80,000 is expected on Sunday. A busy day here on the track. Big names are here like Unser, Vassar, and Andretti going through turn 4 there. They get up to speeds of about 220 miles an hour. Alex Zanardi is getting his name recognized as well. He was the Rookie of the Year last season. Zanardi says the drivers are a little concerned about the conditions.
I'm quite happy with the car. The car is working pretty well, and only problem right now is the wind, which is blowing really hot, really strong. So that puts everybody in trouble.
Last night at the arena, the Panthers ended their winless streak with a much-needed 3-2 win over St. Louis. You could say it was a hard-fought victory for the Panthers. This is Loss in a fight last night. Paul Loss, one of the top heavyweights in the league. Second period, Rhett Warner with a shot tipped in by Brian Scrudlin for a 1-0 lead. That guy looked like George Seifert. On the power play, Ray Shepard back in. Shepard scored. It was 2-1 late in the game. Al McGinnis, some nifty puck handling to Brett Hull. Pass to Beezer. It was 2-2 into overtime. In the OT, Gustafson worked the puck to Niedermeyer. One-timed it past Fuhr for the game winner, and Florida beats the Blues by a score of 3-2. It was a big win for the Florida Panthers. And coming up tonight, the Heat at home against the Arena. We'll have more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. Khambrel?
Big sports weekend. Thank you, Joe. Next here on News 4, something that just might leave you singing. Special honors for some pioneering musicians. We're back in 2 minutes.
The Xena phenomenon. Find out the reason behind this superhero's super success. Then, Jackie O's former press secretary has some advice for the new Mrs. Kennedy on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7:30 on Channel 4.
A hair system by Charles Alfieri will change the way you look without changing your lifestyle. Hair for the 90s is totally secure and looks natural under any conditions. It's the closest thing to your own head of hair. Charles Alfieri hair systems are fully guaranteed and priced at just $800. Call 1-800-321-2413 for more information. That's 1-800-321-2413. Call now.
Mervyn's California store closing sale continues at all Florida and Georgia locations. Everything in every department of these 25 Mervyn's California stores must be sold, effective immediately. Get at least 30% off everything, even off merchandise already marked down. That could mean savings up to 60% on clothing for the entire family, intimate apparel, fashions for the home. You save on everything in every department. See our newspaper ad for full details. Don't miss these once-in-a-lifetime savings. Shop the store closing sale at the Mervyn's California near you today.
News 4 South Florida Sports is sponsored by the Market Pro Computer Show this weekend. Don't miss it.
Stop. Don't pay retail prices for your computer needs. Come to the Computer Show and Sale
this weekend in Fort Lauderdale.
It's like you can't go to any other one place and find this many different products in one location.
Single chip, full computer, Super VGA, CD-ROM. At the Computer Show and Sale this weekend. Millions in merchandise, lots of friendly help. Prices so low they blow the stores away.
This weekend at the War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale.
New York really is Music City this week. You watch the Grammy Awards here on Channel 4 Wednesday night, and last night in the Big Apple, the Rhythm and Blues Foundation handed out its 1997 Pioneer Awards. Rick Jackson reports.
Smokey Robinson and the Miracles have not performed as a group since 1972, but they were back together in New York City. They were one of 11 performers to receive the 8th annual Rhythm and Blues Foundation Pioneer Awards. The Rhythm and Blues Foundation came to life in 1988 when blues singer Ruth Brown, who shared the stage with Aretha Franklin at the awards, took the fight for her royalties all the way to the floor of the U.S. Senate. Royalties are payments an artist receives each time a particular song is recorded, played, or sung in any sort of medium. The foundation is a non-profit organization. Its mission to provide emergency financial assistance and public recognition to rhythm and blues artists from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Bonnie Raitt, who is now a trustee, got involved after making a startling discovery.
Every time I bought Otis Redding for a Christmas present, I was thinking, hey, I'm making Otis more money. Guess what? Thousands and thousands of my heroes have never been paid in all this time, so that's why I got involved.
R&B legends William Bell, Gary U.S. Bond's Gene Chandler, Gloria Lynn, Little Milton, and Clarence Gatemouth Brown were honored. The attention was too much for guitarist Phil Upchurch.
And it'll give me the incentive to keep moving forward when moving forward has been very difficult at times. Thank you.
Not only did the honorees receive awards, they took home financial rewards. The Rhythm and Blues Foundation gave away $230,000 to the 1997 inductees. Rick Jackson, CBS News, New York.
Great benefit. News 4 continues now at 5:30. I'll be back at 6 o'clock. Until then, here's Ileana Varela.
Thank you, Khambrel. Coming up next on News 4 at 5:30, breaking developments in a 6-month-old murder case, and police go thousands of miles to find their suspects. We have the details. She's the cheerleading mother accused of hiring a hitman. Find out why she can go back to cheering for her daughter. And he was doing the handicap hustle. We'll tell you why he's not dancing anymore. The problem solvers get results. News 4 at 5:30 starts right now.
Live from WFOR-TV, this is News 4 South Florida.
A popular Broward High School student gunned down in cold blood, a crime that seemed to have few leads until tonight. Good evening, I'm Ileana Varela. Brian Norcross has the night off. Right now, not one but 2 arrests in the murder case, and to get them, police had to go out of state. News 4's Al Sunshine has the details from our newsroom.
Ileana, Broward police say they had to go up to New Jersey to find one of the alleged killers of 16-year-old Tavares Bryant, but the second suspect was found right here in South Florida. The Broward Sheriff's Office says 2 men have been charged with killing the popular South Broward High School junior. Police say robbery was the motive in the arrest. They say that Bryant was shot outside a Daniel laundromat while talking with his girlfriend on the telephone. Under arrest tonight on first-degree murder charges, 20-year-old Antoine Ricks of Pompano Beach. Police say he's a convicted felon with a long record of drug and burglary arrests. Ricks was picked up yesterday up in New Jersey. Also charged in connection with this case is 20-year-old Lamont Giles of Pompano Beach. Now, friends of Tavares Bryant told News 4 they thought the murder was especially senseless because he never had any experience with gangs and was always a hard worker in school and at his job in Dania Motocross Park. We'll be sure to let you know of any new developments just as soon as we get them. Ileana, back to you.
Thank you very much, Al. A Pompano Beach police officer has been upgraded to stable condition after an accident yesterday afternoon. The driver of this Cadillac was also injured, and now he might face charges for crashing into the officer's patrol car. The accident happened at Southwest 3rd Street and Avondale Drive. Police say the driver of the Cadillac had no insurance, no tags, no registration. Here are some of the other top stories we're working for you on News 4 at 5:30. A dramatic shootout today in Los Angeles caught on camera by a news crew in a chopper. Masked gunmen dressed like commandos tried to rob a Bank of America branch. When their attempt failed, the robbers opened fire on policemen and civilians. The toll, 2 gunmen dead, 8 police officers and 5 civilians wounded. As News 4 was the first to report, the FBI now confirms it was a bullet that hit the tail of a TWA plane. The 727 landed without any problems at Fort Lauderdale International Airport yesterday. A mechanic found the bullet hole after the plane arrived from St. Louis. No one was injured. The FBI is investigating. A 10-year-old boy has been suspended from school after a classmate accuses him of trying to rape her. The alleged victim, who is also 10, claims she was attacked in a bathroom at Nathan B. Young Elementary School in Opelika. No word on whether the boy might face criminal charges. A shocking rape case in Rochester, New York has led to the conviction of a male nurse. A jury has found John Horace guilty of raping a comatose patient at a nursing home. That patient became pregnant and later gave birth. DNA tests proved Horace is the child's father. He became a suspect after officials discovered he had a history of sexual abuse. The woman's family, by the way, is raising the child. Horace faces up to 25 years in jail. It will be at least 6 weeks before arrests are made in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case. That's how long it will take for a forensic lab to complete work on evidence, according to the Boulder, Colorado District Attorney. It's been more than 2 months since the little girl was found murdered in the basement of her home. Investigators say their probe has now expanded to 6 states, and they're also trying to verify the alibi of JonBenet's 20-year-old half-brother. Today marks another chapter in the saga of the cheerleading mom, a Texas woman accused of hiring a hitman. News 4 national correspondent Dave Fehling has more on the parole of Wanda Holloway.
The cheerleader mom is out of prison. A judge released her on probation after she'd served just 6 months of a 10-year sentence.
She hasn't been found guilty.
Holloway's case was the stuff of a made-for-TV movie. 2, actually. This one was on HBO. Wanda Holloway is the mother who prosecutors say was so obsessed with trying to get her daughter a spot on the Channelview, Texas cheerleading squad that she tried to hire a hitman to kill the mother of a competing girl. Her logic, the girl, Amber Heath, would be so upset by her mother's murder, she'd just have to drop out of the tryouts. The hit never happened, though, and Holloway got prison time.
Wanda does not want any more publicity.
She will not seek nor accept any profit or money for her story.
I'll believe that when pigs fly.
Prosecutors and the Heath think Holloway needs a psychiatrist, but the judge only ordered an evaluation with no guarantee of treatment.
But until we know that a doctor has said that she is over this obsession, no, I do not feel comfortable.
Amber Heath was 13 when all this started. Now she's in college and sort of getting used to the cameras.
I haven't liked you guys too much over the 6 years, but I think I like you more now.
Wanda Holloway will not return to Channelview, where the two families once lived just a few streets apart. Her lawyer says she's moving about 20 miles away to work as a secretary and will try to forget how she became the nation's best-known cheerleader mom. Dave Fehling, CBS News, Houston.
The Empire State Building burned bright as a beacon of hope for a victim of last weekend's shooting. Last night, the lights of the Empire State Building were turned out except for the spire. It was done at the request